At this point, we're going to talk about how the PPC auction environment works and how something called quality score will impact it. And I'm going to define what quality score is and really give you a good idea of what it is. Now, as we're looking at this, there is a great video that's put out by Google that's on YouTube, and it's by their chief economist, a guy named Hal Varian, who is not the most exciting speaker, but the video is really good and full of a lot of information. And if you look at my slides, I borrow shamelessly from Hal's video. So something to keep in mind if you want more information. The auction environment and quality score, understanding these is going to give you a really good solid foundation for making your campaigns work. Okay, your auction environment, and we've touched on this briefly already, but you as an advertiser will bid on different keywords. And when you bid on a keyword and your ad appears, your bid will influence where that ad appears. And that ad can appear though, and if nobody clicks on it, it doesn't cost you anything. So it's cost per click. It's not cost per impression, it's cost per click. That's a great thing. You're not paying for impressions that aren't gathering you anything. Google early on saw that there were some challenges to this particular approach in that people could pay for impressions knowing they would get exposure but not necessarily look for the clicks, and serve up a lot of really poor quality ads that weren't relevant, didn't make for a good user experience. So Google instituted something called quality score. And we're going to go into that in depth in a few minutes, but the quality score rewards advertisers who take the time to create good ads that are well targeted to their campaigns. Now, as you're bidding on these keywords and trying to get your ad to appear, the higher up on the page, and it's across the top two bars and on the right-hand column, the higher you up on the page you are, the more likely you're going to get a click and a conversion, the better the visibility. Now, the funny thing is, the higher up you go, the lower the average ad position is. So it's like golf. Low scores are good, high scores are bad. Ideally, you want to be in the top between 1 and 4 positions. After that, then you're getting below the fold and the user actually needs to scroll down to see your ad. So you're getting a pretty big fall off in position 3.5 on down. Now, as I said, the advertisers only charge for actual clicks. And your cost per click is going to be defined not just by what you're willing to bid, but it's also going to be defined by your next closest competitor. Now, when Google started this off, it was very simple. You bid $4, your competitor bid $3, you would only have to pay $3. That was a simple, easy way to go, because you were only going to pay what your nearest competitor was willing to bid. If they were willing to bid $2 and you were willing to bid $4, you would pay $2. Now, Google started to see the performance and the quality of the ads fall off, and so they started to implement something called quality score. Now, quality score is a number from 1 to 10 that Google gives to each individual keyword, and they base it on, number 1, your click-through rate. So the higher the click-through rate, the more Google feels you're giving the user a good experience. You're giving them the information they're looking for. They also look at the keyword's relevancy to the actual ad you're trafficking with it. So here's a great example. If I am bidding on the keyword Honda, but I am selling Toyotas and I'm talking about Toyotas in my ad, and never does the word Honda get into my ad, that relevancy is really low. So Google is going to make it harder for me to get that ad up high. But if I'm bidding on the word Honda and I'm talking about Honda cars, Honda car parts, then my relevancy is going to be high, and combined with the click-through rate, it's going to give me a good quality score. So if I were to break it out into chunks, about 2/3 of the entire quality score is click-through rate. So you improve your click-through rate, you improve your quality score dramatically. About a quarter, about a quarter is relevancy of the ad to the keyword. And then the remaining chunk is the relevancy of that actual landing page you're driving them towards. And there are all kinds of elements there. Does the page load fast? Is the keyword and the ad text somewhere visible on the page? And does the page actually give the user a good experience? It's not slathered with ads, and it has a purpose. It's very easy for Google to see. So those are your 3 elements for quality score. Click-through rate, biggest. Ad relevancy, second. And page relevancy, third. Question? No? Okay. Now, Google gives this to us on a 1 to 10 scale, with 0 being awful, you can't even play, and 10 being, oh my God, that's the most relevant word we've ever seen. You very rarely will see a 10 unless you're bidding on your own brand name. So if I'm a Honda dealership and I'm bidding on Honda, and my ads say Honda, my landing page says Honda, and I get great click-through rate, that's going to give me a 10. But most of the rest of the time, you're more in the, if you're doing things right, you're in the 7 to 8 range. If you're needing to improve things, you're in the 5 to 7 range. And if you're not doing things right, you're below 5, and you really need to have a serious look at whether the ad is something you want to keep going or not. Okay, so we have quality score, we have bids, and we have advertisers. We also have the searcher, and we have Google. So 3 parties, they all want the best thing. Advertisers want to make money. Google wants to serve the best results so the users will trust them over time and come back for more. And the users want the best information. Google is trying to figure out the best way to do this. So here is a scenario. We have 3 advertisers. Acme, Baker, Chaz, and Dell, A, B, C, and D. Without thinking about quality score, Acme bids $4. Their nearest competitor, Baker, is bidding $3, so they would only pay $3. Baker bids $3, their nearest competitor, Chaz, is paying $2, etc. And then there's a minimum bid price. Each keyword has a minimum bid price, and Google sets it based on market history. Now that's a simple way. Then you throw in quality score. So Acme is bidding the most at $3, but they have a really low quality score at 3. And what you'll do is you'll take your ad rank, or your bid times your quality score, and that'll give you an ad rank. And this is going to tell Google where your number will appear on that bid, on that auction. So Baker's has a little better quality score, but Chaz down here, who's only bidding $2, has a 9 quality score. So their ad rank is 18, very strong. And then Dell has a 5 ad rank, which is the same as Baker, but they're only willing to spend $1. So this shifts things. So if you notice, Chaz has the best ad rank, so they're number 1. Baker is number 2 at 15. Acme number 3, and Dell is hanging out at number 4. But because Baker has a good quality score, they can bid less and they can appear higher up on the page. Higher up on the page is going to get you more exposure, more clicks, and a little more trust in the user's eyes. So that's one part of the equation. The second part of the equation is how much, with quality score thrown in, is the advertiser actually going to pay for that click? Before, it was just the nearest competitor's bid. Now you're actually looking at your ad rank divided by your nearest competitor's quality score. So pretty simple equation here. If my ad rank is 18 and my nearest competitor's quality score is 3, I'm going to pay much less. And remember, ad rank includes bid willingness. So here's the same thing, and we've reordered this, so this is how they're appearing on the page. With Chaz, actually this should have been 18. With Chaz only willing to bid $2, but has a great quality score, and Baker willing to bid $3, which is higher, but has a lower quality score, so his ad rank is 12. So Chaz is going to pay his quality score divided by his ad rank divided by Baker's quality score. So I believe, so Chaz pays $1.67 because he has the best quality score, he has the highest ad rank, and he is able to get a lower bid. Baker will be paying actually $2.40. He's lower on the page, but he's paying more money to get that position. Acme actually pays the same as Chaz, and Dell is paying the auction minimum. So the idea here, and you don't really need to do this on a regular basis, it's more for an illustration. The idea here is the higher your quality score, the less you're going to have to pay. Your quality score drives efficiency. And the reason Google does that isn't because they want to save you money, it's Google wants the most relevant ad to appear in the most obvious place on the page. Because Google is all about getting users to trust them. And if Google is delivering poor quality ads that don't really offer a solution for the searchers will go to somewhere else like Bing or Yahoo. So Google is all about getting the best combination of price per click and quality and getting that high up on the page. So your quality score is key to this. Now, if your quality score is below 7, you need to look at things. You need to look at, is your keyword relevant to the ad? Do you have a well-written ad? But you really need to find a way to improve your click-through rate. And also look at your landing page. If you can't do that, then think about maybe pausing the keyword and not bidding on it anymore. In addition to keywords having quality score, your other elements of your account have quality score as well. So all the keywords in the ad group combine to create one quality score. Ad groups within the campaign, you get a campaign quality score, and then campaigns within the account, you get an account quality score. And the reason we're concerned about this is when you put a new keyword or a new ad into a campaign, Google wants to have an idea of the best way to traffic that ad. So they're going to base your new quality scores based on your past history. So if you're performing well, Google gives you a little room to prove yourself with the new stuff. But if historically you perform poorly, it makes it a little harder to get that high quality score out of the gate. Now this lasts for about 20,000 impressions. After that it goes pretty much straight to history. But the first 20,000 impressions, and that's a rough number, are really based on your past history of other keywords, ads, etc. Couple other things that come up with quality score. Bounce back rate. If somebody clicks on the ad, hits your page, and bounces back in 2 or 3 seconds, it means they didn't get what they wanted. Google notices it because they come back to Google. If your page loads slowly, Google notices this and they ding you on it. So you need to have fast loading pages. Google views speed as a key component of usability. And it's not just for AdWords, it's also for their SEO. And then last but not least, your marketplace is going to define your quality score a little bit. We did some work for a family law attorney, and when we first got on board, we did all the research, and we're looking at this, first time we've ever done a family law campaign. We're looking at this and we're like, look at these quality scores for the other guys. We can beat this, no problem. Well, it turns out family law attorneys are aggressive self-promotional people, and they don't always care about quality score. They will just throw money at things. And so you'll see, as a rule, things like a divorce attorney, divorce lawyer, New York divorce lawyer, they have a lower quality score than you might see for something like New York accountant. Another professional service, geographically located, but the quality score for family law lawyers is just as a whole lower. And it's a reflection of the marketplace and kind of the marketplace's approach to advertising on Google. So something to keep in mind. You can't compare apples to oranges on quality score. You just need to look at your own marketplace and your own ad.